Hello, family and friends, and welcome back to the ReImagine You Lab podcast. It is me, MG, and this is the third Friday. The third Friday, and y'all know that we've got Dr. Joyce G. Moore, MD, in the building with us. Hello, Dr. Joyce. How are you?
Hi, Miss Michelle. Blessed, and highly favored.
Yes, you are, and you're doing so much to help all of us be healthily.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce. And today we've got a special episode. Tis the season to shop and eat healthy. So you getting us ready, dear Lord, as we go, as dear Joyce, as we go into the holidays and preparing. So I'm looking forward to what you're gonna share with us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So of course, we start each episode with our disclaimers. Dr. Joyce, you wanna tell them what the disclaimers are?
Well, absolutely. The information is to motivate, is to educate, and is to give you hope, not to provide a diagnosis or treatment of a disease or disorder.
Absolutely. And you guys, and this would be a beautiful gift to give to someone if you're still looking for a holiday or for Christmas gifts and things like that. But you can find all the information that Dr. Joyce talks about and shares in her Purple Mind series of books. We've been in nutrition and the nutrition and wellness book, but she's got the shield. She's got so many that would be a blessing to anybody, especially on those on a health journey and
Yeah.
those who are being proactive with their health nowadays. But you can check it out. You can find her at purplemindbook.com, just like it reads, the color purplemindbook.com. And she also, if you are an Amazon user, you can go to amazon.com and find her works there as well.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Joyce, let's go ahead and get in and kind of share what it is we're talking about today. I want to make sure that we give all adequate and proper time whenever we're discussing, these health components and things, because I hear people, they usually have questions and want to know a little bit more. So I want to give enough time so we make sure we cover it all.
Well, 'tis the season to shop and eat healthy. And of course, there's an inner battle going on between the good guys versus the bad guys. So when we are out shopping and choose healthy foods, that will help the battle that's
Mhm.
going on in our bodies between the good guys and the bad guys. Because when we're eating healthy food, then that will provide the antioxidants that are considered the heroes that carries the electrons to share with the bad guys. And the bad guys are the free radicals, and they are the troublemakers. They steal electrons from the atoms that's within our bodies that make up the cells, that make up the tissues and the organ systems. And it causes potential damaging to the cells and to the DNA, to our genes.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Joyce, you've been so instrumental in what you've been sharing, because I didn't realize until you started sharing here that you can even work on repairing your DNA, that your DNA is even impacted by, such things as those free radicals and such. And so I was like, oh, Dr. Joyce, I didn't even know we could get down in the cellular level and make a difference. I was just trying to lose weight.
Absolutely. And for you to mention cellular, that's very important, because what I am talking about is dealing with the body at the cellular level. And
Yeah.
that's where the healing begins. That's where the protection begins. That's where your growth and reproduction begins. It's at the cellular level.
Yeah, no, this has been great. This has been so good. Okay. Um,
Okay, so on this particular slide, I have categories of foods that we should be eating to help protect our immune system, and these are called the antioxidants, the foods that provide antioxidants. And then I will be talking about foods that are the bad guys. These are the foods that have the free radicals that do the damage to your cells and DNA. So let's look at grains first. Excuse me. So what we want to do is we want to eat organic whole seed grains like your wild rice, your spelt, your quinoa, to keep the cells safe. And these foods contain antioxidants versus the bleached flour and the wild rice.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at sugar, and a lot of people, most people want the sugar because the sugar provides the energy. But what we want to stay away from is the granulated, the processed, the white cane sugar. So we want to avoid the white granulated sugar and the brown granulated sugar, because what they're doing is they're using the white granulated sugar and adding color to it, food coloring, to make it brown.
Really?
Instead of the granulated brown or white cane sugar, let's look at organic, 100% pure maple syrup as a sweetener, date syrup, or you can get the fresh dates and make your own syrup, as well as organic stevia. So these are your healthy sugars versus your bad sugars that have the free radicals.
Okay.
Also, what we want to do is avoid the high fructose corn syrup, and that's abbreviated sometimes as HFCS, and the fructose corn syrup. Avoid those, and corn syrup. And the reason why is because corn is one of the grains that has been genetically modified. So they're using this genetically modified corn and processing it, heavily processing it, to get your high fructose corn syrup. It contains no nutrients, no antioxidants, none of the good guys. In other words, it's all bad guys. Steal electrons from your atoms. So when we look at fats or oils, this is very important, because on your nutrition facts label, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, you will always see trans fat 0. And that's what you want to see. Trans fat is actually vegetable oil that they put hydrogen into it, and it's called hydrogenated fats. So we want to stay away from that. These are the bad guys. These produce the antioxidants. Rather, you want to boil or bake, or boil and bake with your plant-based healthy oils, such as 100% pure avocado oil, and that can tolerate the high temperature. So you can bake with it, you can boil with it, you can fry with it. And also you can add the extra virgin olive oil to your salads. So these are called the heart healthy oils that you want to use versus the canola oils or even coconut oils, and especially if they have been hydrogenated. And you'll see hydrogenated under the ingredients. You want to stay away from those fats and oils.
Okay.
As
Now
far
that's good.
As far as additives and preservatives, MSG, monosodium glutamate, is a no-no. They use that as a food enhancer. It's also a stimulant. It stimulates the brain. So that's why it makes you, it releases dopamine, so that you will constantly want to eat that food. And they're placing that in a lot of the junk food, like your chips and the other junk foods.
Yeah, that's why you can't eat just one. You know, it was some potato chips. You can't eat just one.
Right. MSG is a bad guy. Some people are actually allergic to MSG, so they will have a severe allergic reaction where they can't breathe or can't swallow. But MSG is a bad player. It's a bad guy. It also causes autism. Scientifically, it's linked to autism in children, ADHD in children and adults, And it can also cause MS, multiple sclerosis, that autoimmune disease. So it's a very bad player.
Oh,
So
wow.
when we
Okay.
look at additives and preservatives, we're going to also look at sodium nitrite and sodium nitrate. And these are preservatives. These are used by food manufacturers to preserve the shelf life of foods. So they
Mhm.
add these preservatives so that beef jerky and sausage and the different spam, you want to
Mhm.
make sure you're not getting these foods that contain sodium nitrate.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting, Dr. Joyce, because they put the preservative so that the food will last longer, but it really takes away from the life of the person, people. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
It's
exactly.
interesting. It's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah, we definitely look at these labels, you all, the ingredients that are on these labels.
yes. And children that ate hot dogs regularly, that were fed hot dogs, they had a higher incident of leukemia because of the preservative sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite, those two.
Mm,
Okay, so
okay.
another preservative that they have been placing into cereal boxes of children for years and years is the BHA and the BHT.
Hmm.
Now, whenever you see that B in front of those three alphabets, remember B stands for bad and stay away from it.
Okay. The beef for the bad guys.
BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, that's BHA,
Hmm.
and butylated hydroxytoluene, that's BHT. These are hormone disruptors. So they have been working for years on changing, getting the males more feminized and the females more masculine by
Mm.
putting this preservative into the packages of the cereal boxes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like you said, when you read the back of the food containers, you want to make sure you read the nutrition facts as well as the ingredients. And of course, we all know that we need to stay away from all artificial sweeteners, the
Hmm.
saccharin, aspartame, um, because even the Splendid, and then they have a new kid on the block called Invert, and they're placing those into the breakfast biscuits or the breakfast snacks. Stay away
Okay.
from them because they can cause cancer. And we want to stay away from processed foods like processed meats loaded with sodium nitrate and sodium nitrites. Junk food, like I mentioned, snacks. They contain the additives, and some of them even contain the BHA, MSG. And so these are foods that are considered free radicals. They can weaken our immune system and they can damage our DNA very, 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 very bad. So we want to always read the nutrition facts and ingredients to avoid foods containing free radicals while we're out shopping, and share this with your family members and friends.
Yeah, no, that's good, Dr. Joyce. Oh, so you got a label here for people to actually see and know
Yes,
what they're looking for when they're looking on the back of these ingredients or packages or
yes,
food packages.
exactly. And what the Food and Drug Administration has done is they require for all food manufacturers to place these nutrition facts and
Mhm.
ingredients on the food packages and the food containers. And
Mhm.
so again, when you're looking at the nutrition facts, you want to make sure that the trans fat is 0%. But you
Mhm.
want to also check the ingredients to make sure that there is no hydrogenated. And that's just the chemical term for trans fat. So when you look on the ingredients, make sure it's not hydrogenated canola oil or hydrogenated coconut oil. Make sure you don't have any trans fat.
Okay.
Okay. And when we go through this, now sugar. We want to make sure if it has total sugars, that means it's coming from the natural plant. All fruits has some sugar, like fructose or glucose, and even vegetables had sugar, and it's called sucrose. So that's your natural sugar coming from the plant itself to provide energy for our bodies. And so if it's 12 grams and you know that you're diabetic and you want to keep your grams of sugar down, that's fine. But never buy any food that has included added sugar. That's where the manufacturers can place artificial sweeteners, your high fructose corn syrups, which are GMO sweeteners, bioengineered sweeteners. So always make sure your food has no added sugar. So instead of 12 grams, like on this package, it should be 0 for your added sugar.
Got you.
So we've already mentioned how you have to look at the ingredients too, because if you see sugar in the ingredients, then of course you want to stay away from that, because again, they're not letting you know whether it's artificial sweetener or GMO sweeteners or some of the other products. A rule of thumb, if you're buying a product and it has over 3 or 4 ingredients, then you might want to stay away from it. For this particular container, you see it as BHT for freshness. So remember, B, the 3 letters, if it starts with the B, it's bad. It's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you want to make sure is that on the container, it does not say bioengineered food ingredient, because it's saying that it has a genetically modified engineered food in it, as well as the gene of this food could have been manipulated. So GMO, genetically modified organism, and bioengineered, they're one of the same terms. It's just that this particular pharmaceutical, a very large pharmaceutical, purchased the patent of the GMO seeds. So they own the GMO seeds now.
Seeds. Okay. Bioengineered and genetically modified is the same.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you see that under the ingredients, leave it alone. Don't buy it, because you'll be placing bad guys into your bodies.
Okay. We don't want any bad guys in the body.
Absolutely, positively not.
Yeah.
Okay, so genetically modified organisms, abbreviated GMO. So this is a product that has been made in the laboratory, and they have used an organism, at least one organism, whether it's a virus or a bacteria or something else, to alter the seed, the natural seed, the native seed. And most of these foods are seedless. And examples would be what? Watermelon, oranges, grapes. These fruits have been genetically modified. And we also have genetically modified veggies. So the rule of thumb is to avoid GMO foods. Now, again, the FDA has required that food manufacturers place these different code stickers, and they're called price lookup. Price, abbreviated PLU. So as a rule of thumb, we do not want to purchase a PLU code sticker or stickers that begin with the number 8 or 4 or 3. In other words, on this price lookup sticker, you will see 4 or 5 numbers. The first number, which is on this slide, is highlighted in red, indicates whether or not the food has been genetically modified or whether or not it is non-organic.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 4, 8, and 3. 8 definitely means that your food, that this food And you will see these like on vegetables, and you will see these on fruits. There will be this price lookup tag. It's either a sticker on the fruit. On the vegetable, this tag is enclosed in a wire, and the wire is wrapped around, let's say, a bundle of kale or a bundle of spinach or asparagus. Very seldom will you see 8, because now they're trying to play a game. They're trying to say, okay, we don't have to say that it's genetically modified. We'll say that it's number 4 or number 3. Those, the 3 and the 4 means that it is non-organic, meaning that even if it was grown in the soil, that they used a very harsh, dangerous chemical like a herbicide or pesticide or even a fertilizer. So now it's no longer organic, even though it's grown in the soil. So in the case where you have a 3 or 4, then you have to, your antenna should be aware that this food perhaps will do damage to my cells, damage to my DNA. This food is perhaps a free radical. So here we have a list of seedless veggies and fruits. Now, what the United States Agriculture Department and the National Bioengineered Food Disclosure Standard said is that we're going to have to let people know. So if you go online and look up a list of United States Department of Agriculture bioengineered foods, asparagus, alfalfa, the Arctic apples, not all apples, but for sure the Arctic apples. And you'll see that Arctic with the little TM trademark behind it. Avocados. Now, I had mentioned that GMO fruits and vegetables do not contain seeds. Now, avocados and mangoes could be genetically modified. They may contain the seed, but the seed cannot reproduce itself because it has been genetically modified. They usually will leave these seeds in the fruit for structure. So if you didn't have the seed within an avocado or mango, then that fruit would be flat. So it's just for structural purposes. Then BT eggplants. And of course, we mentioned oranges, seedless tomatoes, seedless cucumbers, and they have what's called the ring spot virus resistant papaya.
What is that, Dr. Joyce? That seems awful. I just want a papaya. I don't want all that in the beginning.
Yes. So with papayas, Miss Michelle, they usually will have this virus that would cause them to have ring spots on the papaya. So the scientists said, well, we'll get rid of the ring spots and put a genetically modified organism that will prevent this virus from growing and producing the ring spots on the papaya.
Okay.
So it does that, but what? It gets rid of the nutrients. Just about all GMO fruits and vegetables contain very little, and mostly none of them contain nutrients. So you're getting calories that you don't really need, but not the nutrients that you need, the antioxidants that you need to protect your cells by sharing electrons with the bad guys, with the free radicals. And then we have watermelons. And just be aware that now these russet potatoes, and you'll see them everywhere, not only in your regular grocery stores, but also in the so-called healthier foods stores. White russet potatoes are GMO. They have been genetically modified. Then summer squash and sugar beet. So what we want to do is avoid the following GMO bioengineered foods Um, and then there are also ingredients that are made from the corn. And the corn, soy, and rice, those were three of the first vegetables that were genetically modified. And
Okay.
everything that's produced from them, unless you see on the package organic, USD organic, and non-GMO verified with the little butterfly, don't buy it because it is or it has been genetically modified, and they're putting these ingredients into different foods.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So let's say maybe 85 to 95% of the foods in our food markets now on the shelves are GMO foods. That's why when we shop, we have to read. We have to read the nutrition facts. We have to read the ingredients to protect ourselves from the bad guys.
Yeah, no, that's so important. And you know what? And it's so good that as you've been sharing, to make it a point, to turn the containers over or look at the packaging on the look at the labels and what it's saying, because a lot of times people wouldn't know or even think to have to do that. You think you go to the produce section and everything in the produce section is
Yes,
good.
yes, yes,
But now
absolutely.
you got to be a little more mindful of what we are actually putting in our bodies and be based on what they're putting in the food.
Exactly, exactly. So we want to purchase vegetables and fruits with the price lookup that's abbreviated on these little stickers and the little labels that's wrapped around our vegetables. PLU code stickers that begin with the number 9. And so here we see the 9 in front of those series of code numbers. That's what we're looking for, especially when you know that asparagus has been genetically modified. Never ever stay away from asparagus that the PLU starts with a 4 or a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very seldom they're going to show 8 because 8 means genetically modified, but they'll put 3 or 4. But I would say to just be clear of that. And
Yeah.
and when you purchase the PLU with the USDA organic on the little sticker or on the label wrapped around your vegetables and fruits, you know that you're getting organic, non-GMO vegetables and fruits, which contains nutrients called antioxidants. These are the good guys, and they carry the extra electrons to share with the free radicals, which are the bad guys. So this is what we want to see on your fruits and your vegetables.
We want to see that USDA. We
Yes,
want to see the PLUs that start with the number 9 so
yes,
we can feel good about the food that we're getting.
absolutely.
Okay. No, so good. So good.
Okay, so these are just additional GMO and bioengineered foods to avoid, and that's the granulated sugar and flour, the vegetable oils, canola oil, soybean oil, corn, sunflower, safflower, and your high corn syrup, and cornstarch. You want to avoid those. And remember that your processed foods, which are your baked goods, your canned soup, cereals like cornflakes, etc., your frozen meals, your salad dressings, soda, soft drinks, sweetened juices, tofu. That's if it doesn't say USDA organic and has the price lookup sticker starting with the number 9, or if you're looking at the back of the container and it has under the ingredients contain bioengineered ingredients, stay away from these foods.
Mm.
Okay, so be mindful of the following toxic ingredients.
Ooh,
And they're
toxic
often
ingredients.
found in
Okay.
the holiday foods, especially your cookies, your cakes, that they know everyone wants to, celebrate,
Mhm.
and as well as the everyday foods. This is the big, super bad, bad guy, titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is a toxic food colorant additive. And so it's
Okay.
found in your items such as your non-chocolate candies, your chewing gums. You have to read. You just have to turn that package container over and read and make sure it doesn't say titanium dioxide. In your desserts, your cookies and cupcakes with that very bright, beautiful red icing or white icing, most likely it has the colorant additive titanium dioxide. And so it's found in the plant-based chicken tenders. So we had one viewer to ask about, I buy plant-based food.
Mhm.
Plant-based foods, again, you must read the ingredients to make sure it doesn't have titanium dioxide in it or any of the bioengineered ingredients. So what are some alternatives? Look for um, uh, plant-based cheese, yogurt, soy milk, almond milk. This can also contain titanium dioxide. So we have to read the container. So we have to read the ingredients on the back of your containers and packages. And then aluminum. We want to stay away from aluminum because aluminum has been linked scientifically to Alzheimer's disease, and they are placing aluminum in baking powder. So you want to buy baking powder that are aluminum free, contains no aluminum, and be careful when you're baking not to bake in aluminum cookware because as the food heats up, some of that aluminum will get into your food.
Oh, that's good to know, Dr. Joyce. Because at the holidays, they have um, those little standalones in the grocery store so that you can bake in it. And we've always interpreted it as it limits the number of dishes we got to wash.
Yes, go with stainless steel
Yeah.
or porcelain.
Yeah. No, this is good. Dr. Joyce, you always come with good stuff.
Thank you. So again, this is what you need to see on all of your containers and packages. USDA organic and this cute little butterfly, and it says non-GMO project verified. So when you see these two labels, then you are pretty well certain that you're going to be getting the good guys, the foods that are not tainted with bioengineered ingredients and GMOs that are
Mhm.
bad guys. Those are your free radicals.
That's good. All right. We've got to make sure we're making good, safe, and healthy choices.
Yes, because 'tis the season to shop and eat healthy.
It is. It is. No, this is good, Dr. Joyce. So good. Because sometimes I mean, let's be honest, you just don't always pay attention, but there's power in paying attention and really being mindful about what's going in the body and anything that can challenge it, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. And I always use the word of God as the lens to say, okay, is this, is this wisdom? Are we doing things that God made us in his image and he made the food for us to eat? So are we eating the foods that he wants us to eat to stay on the
Mhm.
right track? And so we have used this and talked about Genesis 129, about eating vegetables containing seeds and eating fruits containing seeds. And God said, this shall, not this might be or may be for food, but this shall be for food. And so your body consists of 70% water. So it's very
Mhm.
important to drink half your body weight in ounces of natural spring water. Natural, because we are natural. So purified, that is not natural spring water. You want to see natural spring water. You want to buy natural spring water. And an example of drinking your body weight in ounces. Say, for instance, you weigh 100 pounds. So you want to drink at least 50 ounces of water. And you want it to be the natural spring water.
Okay.
Also exercise, get fresh air, and adequate rest. And exercise, because I realize, as we get older, we need to still keep these bodies moving. And this
Yeah.
water will help to keep our joints moving and healthy. So
Yeah.
get the fresh air, get adequate rest as well, and happy, healthy holidays to everyone.
Dr. Joyce, always so good. Thank you, Dr. Joyce. This has been super helpful. This is good for us. This is good for us. This year we have been working on, and thank you for coming on and for sharing each week, each month to give us something good for us to think about for our internal as well as our external health. These are all things that we citizens of heaven, and we want to stay. We want to stay. We want to keep these bodies in as good a shape until we get to our glorified bodies. We want these
Yeah,
bodies that we got to
exactly.
not wear out and last as long as they can. And
Yeah,
so this has been so helpful. Well,
thank,
happy and healthy holidays to you.
thank you very much, Miss Michelle. And the same to you and your family.
Thank you, my dear. Well, guys, this is our time for today. I want to thank you for tuning in to the ReImagine You Lab podcast with me, MG, and this Friday, this third Friday of the month with Dr. Joyce G. Moore, MD, who is here and has shared with us about how to keep healthy. One thing I want to remind you is if you have not seen, if you listen to the episode today and you're like, wow, what else is there? What more can I be doing or should I know? Go back and tune in to the videos that and shows that we did and that we recorded across the whole year, because there may be something in there that's super insightful for you. When we talk about the DNA and cell, when Dr. Joyce is talking, she's telling us about making changes, making differences in our lives at the cellular level. And so know that there are episodes out there. You can go back and you can tune in to any of those. Thank you for tuning in today. If you haven't subscribed already, please go and do so and share this episode with a friend, neighbor, family member. It's all good. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next week, have a great, great day. Blessings, everybody. Bye bye.